Hey, Spring Arbor students. This is an overview of week 2, actually the week of August 16th for our MBA600 course. So I want to cover a few things with you. Hope your week is going well. Hope this is starting to come together for you. There may be some confusion out there. In fact, I'm sure there is on a number of items. So I'm going to cover, I think, 4 things in the next few minutes here with you. Let's talk about chapters 1, 2, and 3 of the master's thesis for a moment. I know the syllabus says that only chapters 1 and 2 are due by Sunday midnight on August 30th, so that's what I'll be grading. However, I strongly encourage you to get all 3 chapters done by August 30th. And by the way, before I go any further, I'll post these notes that I'm talking about right here. I'll make sure that they're part of the announcement that goes out, so there'll be a video portion as well as the notes portion that I'm talking to you about right now. So if you don't get this all written down while I'm talking, don't worry about it. You'll have it in a Microsoft Word file. I know there are about 10 new students in this section, and it gives us, I think we're up to like 21 or 22 students right now. Many of you came into this section from Business 642 with me, and then some of you have come into this section from other sections, as well as some of you maybe after a short break from the program. So if you're new to this section, then some of this may be a little bit confusing. What do I mean by chapters 1, 2, and 3? Remember, your master's thesis is divided into 5 different chapters. Chapters 1, 2, and 3 are commonly referred to as your research proposal, okay? In this course, we focus on finishing the proposal, chapters 1, 2, and 3, submitting the IRB application, and getting the IRB application approved by Spring Arbor University. Attached to this announcement that goes out is also a writing template that students in my section from Business 642 filled out as they completed their assignments in 642 back in the spring term. The writing template brings together all the writing that you're doing into one form, into essentially chapters 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5 are left blank, of course. It's the template for your writing thesis, for your master's thesis. All 5 chapters with reference lists and appendix built in. So many of the students have chapters 1, 2, and 3 already drafted. Some of them, in fact, are really close to finishing all 3 chapters. If you're new to this section, I strongly encourage you to use that template. And again, I'll send it as part of this week's announcement. It'll be an attachment. Use that template to pull all your writing together under one document, divided up into chapters 1, 2, and 3. 4 and 5 will be blank, of course. This is the document that you will need to upload for the peer review, and it's the same document that you can use for your writing assignment requirement for Module 1. Okay, so chapters 1 and 2 are due at the end of the month. If you can get 3 done, even drafted, get it in there, okay? If you're new to this section, don't be shocked if I appear to be critical of writing style. Anyone can tell you that's kind of just the way I am. Current students in my section can tell you I'm a tough grader on the grammar, fluency, APA writing, and mechanics of writing. I'm not a great writer myself, but I've challenged myself and I'm challenging you. Let's rise to a new level of writing. I'm going to remind you this is a master's level program, and writing a solid research paper is a requirement for graduation. Therefore, I do hold everyone to a high standard of writing. That standard is found in the rubric on page 17 of your syllabus. You follow that, you're good. So please do not think I'm just picking on you when I grade your paper and give you a response back. I'm simply expecting the best of the students in my section and challenging you to improve your writing ability. In return, I promise you'll be a better writer because you'll have developed research writing as one of your skill sets. Okay, a little bit about the peer review that's due it's actually due by the 24th, but it's got to be graded or actually completed by the 30th. At a minimum, upload chapters 1 and 2 by Monday, 8/24, to your Blackboard peer feedback. You'll see when you get on Blackboard, there's a place called Peer Feedback Forums, and underneath that, there's a section called Module 1, Peer Feedback. If you have chapter 3 done or drafted, upload it as well. Again, put all your chapters into one Microsoft Word document. Upload that one document to Blackboard for peer review. Read and critique 2 other papers. What do I mean by that? As you read your papers, each other's papers, Use Microsoft Word Comments. It's under the review section. It's one of the tools of Microsoft Word. And look for these things. Look for obvious grammar problems and spelling problems. Look for ease of reading and fluency. See if you can find the following things. Find your peer's research topic and purpose. Look for their statement of the problem. The research question should be obvious. Benefits of doing research should be listed somewhere. Look for the research methodologies. As a qualitative study or a quantitative study. Look for 1 to 2 pages of the lit review of the current research. Look at the references. Do they meet the right form? Are they complete? Look at the appendix. At a minimum, the appendix at this point should include survey questions or the interview protocol if Chapter 3 is completed. Again, look for APA references and that sort of thing and make sure they're correct. I've divided you up into 7 different peer groups, and it's listed below at the bottom of the notes section that I'll attach to the announcement. You only have to read 2 papers from your peer group. And let's see, I think for peer review, what I'll do for module number 2 at the end of September, I'll probably reshuffle the deck and divide you up again. Okay. Again, make sure you provide feedback to your peers using Microsoft Word, the comments tool. And you can also provide general feedback in the discussion forum, but the specific feedback on the document embedded into the document, into the Microsoft Word document using Microsoft Word comments. Your feedback has to be completed by Sunday midnight on August 30th, back to your peers. Okay, and then any feedback that you get as a part of this review process, you can include in future submissions of your final paper. Let's talk a minute about the checkpoint. That's the time when we connect together one-on-one. If you've not already connected with me, by Zoom, then schedule time with me to do that. The purpose of these checkpoints is to make sure that you're on track to complete chapters 1, 2, and 3 and complete the IRB. If you've already met with me via Zoom, and some of you have already this term, then you can count that meeting as our checkpoint. I need to meet with each of you before Sunday midnight on August 30th. That will be impossible if you wait for the last weekend. We'll simply run out of time. Send me an email with some time you can meet, anytime during the weekday after 5 p.m. Or 8 to noon on most Saturdays. Plan for about 30 minutes, okay? Sunday, August 30th is coming up fast, and do not wait until that weekend to try to meet with me, or you may not be able to. We just won't have the time, then you're going to be late on that grade. During the checkpoint, here's what we'll discuss. I'll give you some comments back on chapters 1, 2, and 3, if you've got 3 drafted. We'll talk about your framework, your research framework that is, the research question, and your data collection instruments. If I think that you're close to completing all 3 chapters and you got it pretty well put together, then we'll spend a few minutes talking about the IRB application. Again, send me an email with some times that we can meet in the next couple of weeks or so. Do not wait on this. Regarding the IRB application, do not attempt to fill out this application until chapters 1, 2, and 3 are nearly completed, or at least you have a good draft done of them. I need to review those chapters with you before you attempt to complete the IRB application. The application for the IRB committee is essentially an abbreviated version of your research proposal, which is chapters 1, 2, and 3. So if chapters 1, 2, and 3 are nearly done, filling out the IRB application is very easy. We're all using the exempt form of the IRB process, so make sure you use the right form. Before completing the IRB application, you must also have completed the Human Subjects Review training. It's an online training course. A certificate's generated for you automatically upon taking, there's a little quiz you take and that sort of thing. The certificate has to be a part of your IRB application. After you submit your IRB application, it will take 4 to 6 weeks for approval. So this is kind of like a game, and here's how the game is played. You complete chapters 1, 2, and 3 as good drafts. I know the syllabus makes it look like it has to be completely done. We're going to call them good drafts of chapters 1, 2, and 3 have to be done first. Then you write the IRB application. The more complete and clear the application is, the more likely it will be approved and not rejected. Now, this is all assuming that there's good research methodology going on inside of your IRB application, and that's part of where I can help you get that done. You submit the application and you start waiting. While you're waiting, you can go back and complete and finalize chapters 1, 2, and 3, as well as some of the other courses you might be taking. As soon as the IRB application is approved, you can start data collection, but not until then. If all goes well, you could actually have data collected before moving on to Business 686, which starts, I think, in the spring term, 2016. This just gives you that much more time to analyze data and write your conclusions, which is chapters 4 and 5 of your master's thesis. I know the syllabus has you submitted the IRB at the end of Module 3, which is late November, but the process above that I just talked about will get your IRB application submitted sooner and give you more time on the back end of your research as you collect data and write chapters 4 and 5. Okay, I think that's it for now. I'll be praying for you guys this week as you work. I know you've got a lot of things going on. Make sure you check out the notes that I'll have attached to the announcement with this video, the writing template, and at the bottom of the notes is the peer review groups for the upcoming Module 1 submission for peer review. Okay, have a great week.